Hello, welcome to your first week of school and your first English class. I'm so excited for you guys to be here, and I am looking forward to getting to know you guys. So, if you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you are in my Google Classroom. You should have received an email, and that would lead you to Google Classroom. But I want to show you how you can always get to Google Classroom because you don't have to go to your email every time. There are a couple of ways you can do it. So you can type in classroom.google.com, click enter, and it'll take you to this screen. Yours will look different. It'll have your classes on there. Or you can always go to google.com and click on this little waffle looking dots right here, and you'll go down and click on classroom. Yours may be in a different spot. So you are Virtual Academy. Now, if you guys at any point decide to come back to school, I will put you in one of these other classes, which have an A-Day class and a B-Day class. So you'll always click on this class anytime that you have me. Please make sure that you check your Google Classroom because this is where I'm going to give you information about what we're doing that day. Where do you need to go on Summit? Do you submit your items on Summit or do you submit them on Google Classroom? So make sure you come here. I will never give you information in the stream. Other teachers will. So you need to make sure that you check it for them. Don't worry about checking the stream for me. I will have everything you need in the classwork section. And if you follow my cursor, it is the second tab right here. Click on classwork and it will pop up. Sorry, mine looks a little bit different. It will pop up and give you all of the activities that I've posted. So you can see up here, we have the introduction video and FYI. If you have not watched this video yet, please pause the one right now and then go watch this. It'll give you some good information about English class, our year, Google Classroom, things that I expect of you. If you've watched it, we can move forward. So I'm going to divide your work up by week, and you can see that the first week is August 24th through the 25th with the hands. Please don't work too far ahead because I may change things from day to day. And I know that it is extremely frustrating when you do work and your teacher's like, oh, no, we're not going to do that. Or maybe you got ahead and they were like, well, you had this assignment. Well, it wasn't on there when I was doing it. So just try to stay with me day to day, okay? You're not doing this alone. You're not going to do your virtual work alone always. I'm still your teacher. I'm still here for you. So when you come over to Google Classroom, you need to check the virtual classroom and see what the activities for the day are. So we're going to click on virtual classroom, and it is a PDF. You'll probably need to scroll down through some of the slides. So I hope that works for you. Some of these haven't been linked up yet just because I haven't needed to put anything on those slides yet. So we're going to scroll down. Every day, you are going to have some type of bell work. It's so important that you do this bell work, and I'll talk about this in rules and norms or rules and procedures because this is how I'm going to count you present or absent. And I'll tell you when you need to do that. When you watch your bell work, or when you finish your bell work and submit that, you are going to watch your daily videos. Now, this video, the videos may have me going over the bell work. Sometimes your bell work could just be telling me something good that happened in the last 24, 48, or 72 hours. I want to get to know you, and I want to know the good things that are going on in your life. So just make sure if you're not sure about your bell work, you can pause it before you submit it. Come watch the daily video lesson and see if I work through some of the problems on there, okay? You also should have received in your kit that you got, you should have received a paper that looks like this. It's almost like a laminated paper. It's got a grid on one side and it's blank on the other. And you should have also received an expo marker. you will need this for my bell work sometimes, but not always. You will need to watch the videos. I'll do the bell work on those, and you will take a picture of it and submit it. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Finish watching the daily video, work on your worksheets or summit activities, anything that is the daily lesson, and then you'll do an exit ticket. And it's just kind of wrapping up everything. I'm going to try to stick with grammar for bell work, good things for bell work, and then I'm going to try to stick with either summary activities or Greek and Latin roots for the exit tickets, okay? But things may change, so just go along with me. All right, so today is either Monday, August the 24th, or Tuesday, August the 25th. So luckily, you guys are doing the same things on Monday and Tuesday of this week. Today, we are going to be doing everything on this little board. Google Classroom, well, we're going over that right now. Next, we're going to talk about the rules and procedures for my class, whether you are virtual or you are on-site. We're going to do an activity called Summit 101, which is going to introduce you to what Summit looks like in the English classroom. And then we're going to do an intro activity because I want to get to know you. I want to know you outside of English class. And then we're going to do something with email because your primary way of communicating with your teachers is going to be through email because you are virtual. But you also live in a society that is ruled by technology. So it's so important that you understand how to communicate with your friends is different than how you communicate with your teacher or your boss. And that's a skill that you need to have for the future. If you see right here, I have today's COG skills. In Summit, you have a list of different cognitive skills. The cognitive skills are what I'm trying to teach you. What's the whole point of me trying to do this lesson? Everything that we're doing today, there's a point to it. My goal is to help you learn how to communicate accurately and precisely. That means I want you to be able to use good grammar and style and mechanics. I want you to be able to make good sentences. I want you to be able to convey your message without getting all cluttered with everything else. So those are the activities we're going to do today. We're not going to have a bell work and we're not going to have an exit ticket. You will have an exit ticket today. Excuse me. I apologize. But it's going to go in with the email 101. So we are going to move on out of virtual classroom and we're going to move on into the rules and procedures. Before we do that, I do want to share with you, I know I kind of look crazy right now. It's not Monday or Tuesday for me. It is currently Wednesday, the week before school. So I've been up in the classroom, I've been working, getting all hot and sweaty. Also, if you see this on my arm, don't freak out. I didn't hurt myself. Some of you probably know what this is. I was able to go get a tattoo today, so I'm really excited about that. So just don't freak out when you see that. All right, so we're going to go back and we're going to scroll down to rules and procedures. And this was rules and norms on our virtual classroom. So you see down here it says view material. This is just something I want you to see. And it is not something that you have actually got to do. And I didn't add that in there, but it will be on there for you guys when you're watching this video. So for rules and procedures, I only have 3 rules for my classroom. I'm going to save that. And then, so that'll be there for you guys. You just click on it. The 3, love school internet. 3 rules for my classroom. This is something you have to agree to being in my classroom. The first rule is to show respect. Now, guys, this is something that is a big struggle here at the middle school because we have a lot of bullying. So here is what I always want you to consider when you are with me in or out of my classroom. Is it hurtful or is it helpful? Honesty is not always the best policy because, and I'm not encouraging you to lie, but if somebody has really ugly hair, maybe it is just wild, is it helping them if you tell them, hey, you look really ugly today? The intention, are you intending to help someone or to hurt someone? So I need you to make sure that you show respect to your peers. I also want you to show respect to your faculty and your staff, your teachers. So what I mean by that is respect how you talk to the adults in your life. Don't send an email, and we'll go through this later, but don't send an email where you are hateful and you're in all caps screaming at them. So you really need to respect that everybody has lives. Everybody needs just a little bit of time. Be patient and try to be understanding with your teachers, okay? I'm going to make mistakes. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to make all kinds of mistakes. Just like in this video, I went and I hadn't uploaded that rules and procedures thing. No big deal. Fix it and move on. You need to show respect to yourself, guys. You are capable of so much. And if you do not take ownership of your education, if you don't check your email, if you don't check your Google Classroom, if you don't do your work, you are disrespecting yourself and your potential so much. So I need you to show respect to yourself. And lastly, I want you to show respect to items for school. So you'll be getting some books from me coming home this year. And I just want to make sure that you understand that these are not free. These are books that sometimes I have to pay for out of my own pocket. So just show respect to those items. Don't throw them on the floor. Don't leave them out in the rain, things like that, okay? Next, rule number 2, have high expectations. You are capable of more than you think you are. And I don't ever want you to think, gosh, I just can't do this. I don't know what to do. I can't think of anything. You need to have higher expectations of yourself because I have high expectations for you. I'm not going to write your paper for you. I'm not going to write your introductory sentence for you. I'm not going to give you all the answers. Now, here's the thing. If you were in class, I could say, well, I'm not going to give you the bell work answers until you try to work it out. You guys are virtual, so it's a little bit different. You have got to expect more from yourself than just watching the videos and getting the answers. I'm going to give you opportunities to pause and work on things and then continue watching the video. So expect high standards for yourself. Set the bar high for yourself, okay? Because I'm going to. And then number 3, be an active learner. Participate. Do your work. If you can't do all of it, at least try to do some of it. And communicate, okay? You've got to communicate with me. Now, procedures. You need to complete your bell work by 11:59 p.m. on the day that you have me to be present. So if you have me on Monday for A Day, then your bell work is due that night. And it will show me a little timestamp when you turn things in. If you have me today is Tuesday by 11:59 p.m. tonight, if you are to be present, okay? 2, I already talked about this. Check my Google Classroom, watch the videos every single day that you would have me. If maybe you're really sick, you're in bed and you're sick, if you got the flu, I hope that you don't get the flu or COVID, but if you do, send me an email and say, hey, I'm really sick. I'm going to try to get to this work on another day. Just because you're not able to do the work that day doesn't mean it doesn't have to be done. 3, ask questions through email in a timely manner. I don't know that you have questions unless you email me, unless you ask me, especially because you guys are at home. So please let me know when you're struggling. Let me know how I can help you. What specifically are you struggling with? Are you struggling with the introduction paragraph? Are you struggling with coming up with ideas for your body paragraphs? Remember, I'm not going to do the work for you, but I'll do my best to help you walk through and lead you to where you can do the thinking. You have to have high expectations for yourself. Lastly, I want you to attend scheduled Zoom meetings if you need any extra help. Sometimes I just can't help you through email. Okay, so it's going to be so important that you attend those Zoom meetings. We're going to have those generally on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'll let you know the time of that. I'm not quite sure of that right now, but it'll be second block. And you've got to come on those days, because if you are waiting to do work and it's not a Zoom meeting day, I'm not going to have time to meet with you, because I've got classes here too. So really try to work with me, okay, guys? All right, so that's all of our rules and procedures. The next thing we are moving on to is our Summit 101. This is something that you are going to need to do. My internet's slow. And submit. So I apologize. Backtrack. We're doing intro activity. Okay, so let's start there. You're going to click on this intro activity here, and you are going to decorate a locker to represent you, to give me a little bit of insight. So it says it's a new school year, and I can't wait to know you. I want you to decorate your virtual locker with items, posters, stickers, lights, books, snacks, whatever that is appropriate that represents you. And I'm going to show you my locker, and then I'm going to show you how to do your locker. So we're going to come over here, and this is my locker. So I have Dr. Pepper in there because I am obsessed with Dr. Pepper. I hear there's a Dr. Pepper shortage right now, and I'm really upset about that. I have some sheet music down here. I started playing piano when I was in first grade, and I played all the way through college. It was really cool because I was able to get some money to go to college just for playing piano. And I had a crazy Russian piano teacher. She was kind of intimidating, but she was amazing. I've got my Crossed Eagle sticker in the back, or poster in the back. Obviously represents where I teach. I've got the Bible up there. I've got a Highly Suspect poster. That's one of my favorite bands. I've got some lights because you guys aren't here, but I have lights all over my classroom. Let's see if I can get this one in the picture. Kind of see some of my lights I have everywhere. I have lights up in my house, in my bedroom, and in my kids' bedrooms. I have books up there because I love to read. I don't have a lot of time to read right now, but I love to read. Pencils in a cup because I love office tools. I love to go to office supply stores. I like pens and pencils and highlighters and markers and all kinds of things like that. Down here at the bottom, I've got an HP for my favorite book series, Harry Potter. I've got a little rose down there because that's typically what people get tattooed. That's what they think of when they get tattoos. And so I have a few tattoos, and so I put that on there. I've got a calendar because I like to be organized as far as my schedule. I've got a Razorback because I grew up watching the Razorback football teams play. And even if they aren't the greatest team, I just enjoy watching football. I think it's such a great sport, and I love to watch a really good game. I don't like it to just be a complete where one team destroys the other team. So I've got a mirror. I like to look in the mirror sometimes before I leave the house. Obviously, I didn't today. And then I've got some hearts up there because I love people. I love my students. I love my family. And I want everybody to feel important. And I hope that I can make you feel important. So that's a little bit about me. And I want to know about you. I want you to find at least 7 items to put in your locker. Okay? And let me show you how to do this. Now, You will need to go up here and click File, and then you're going to scroll down to Make a Copy and click Entire Presentation. Okay, that's going to take you to this, and it says Copy of Intro Document. You are just going to erase the words copy of, and you're going to type your name. So if your name is Bob Builder, that's what you're going to type there. Okay, and then you're going to click OK, and it's going to pop up an extra copy, and it's going to pop up a copy for you. Now, there's a trick to this, and I'm going to go back over here and just get rid of that. So I've got Bob Builder's intro activity. And the third slide down here is going to be blank for you. What I would suggest that you do is you're going to go to the second slide, which is My Locker. And you can see that when I click right over here to the left, it kind of puts a box around the entire thing. So click on that, and then on your keyboard, you're going to push CTRL. It's at the bottom left. You're going to hold that button, and you're going to push the letter C at the same time. So it's going to be Control C at the same time. Then I'm going to go over to this slide, and I'm going to push CTRL, Control, and I'm going to push V, as in vase. So when I do that, it copies just the locker. Now, you can open a new slide and go to Google, and you can type in whatever you want to put in there, and you can Control C and copy it, and then you can bring it back over here and push Control V. Now, there's another way to do that. You can push Insert, Image, and then you can go over here and click Search. And it will pop up a little search box over here to the side where you can just directly insert those things. Nifty little trick. If you want something to be see-through, transparent, you can type in, key. Like if you want a key on there, I'm going to type key. And I'm also going to type transparent background. And that usually gives you some options, and I just double clicked on that. It gives you the option to insert things without it like having a white box around it all the time. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it goes. See? So it doesn't have that white box around it. And then you can change the size. Just decorate it however you want, as long as it's appropriate, okay? Remember, I want at least 7 items. When you finish decorating, it automatically saves in your Google Drive, so you don't have to worry about saving that. You are just going to close it. You're going to come back over, and it's going to give you the option to upload your assignment. So I'm going to switch to a different class just to show you what that would look like. I am in a class for the teachers, and I'm going to scroll down and find an assignment. See, posted a new assignment, so I'm going to click there. Now, when I'm ready to post my work, you can see over here to the right, I'm going to click Add or Create. I'm going to click on Google Drive. Give that just a minute to load. And there's Bob Builder intro activity. So I'll just double click on that. And I will then click on Turn In. Now, I don't want to send that to Mr. Hollis, so I'm not going to do that. But you'll just click Turn In, and that will email it to me with a time on it. And I can check it out and get to know you guys a little bit better. All right, we are going to move on to our next activity, which is Summit 101. If you are not ready to move on to Summit 101, this would be a great time to pause this video and work on your intro activity or locker, okay? So just pause the video, go work on your intro activity, get it done, send me an email if you're confused about anything, and submit that, okay? All right, I'm going to move forward with Summit 101. So we're going to click on that. And you've got two things here. You've got Google Slide and a Google Doc. Summit for English, the Google Slide, is going to be where you're going to find the answers to the Google Doc. Now, I am going to go through the slide, and then I'm going to go back and verbally go over the answers to the Summit 101 Google Doc. I'm not typically going to just give you answers. However, this is your introduction to Summit, and it's so important that you know about Summit. So I don't want you to miss any information, okay? I want us to start out on a good note. Just know that I'm going to expect higher standards from you, and that this isn't going to be a normal thing, okay? Now, if you come back over here and you click on Summit 101, your document will pull up whenever the internet decides. And you can see I've got several questions. It says directions. Maybe. At the top left, click File and make a copy. So that's the first thing I'll do. I'll click File and I'll click Make a Copy. Use the PowerPoint Summit for English, got that pulled up over here, to answer the questions. Finally, upload your document to Google Classroom and submit for grading. Okay, so you need to click File and make a copy. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to add a whole bunch of copies to mine, but you need to do that. You are going to type your answers in this document. Now, I don't care what size it is, what color it is, what font it is, as long as I can read it. Okay? You can highlight it however you want to do it. But the answers have to be right, and I have to be able to read it, okay? So, Summit 101. How are you going to be graded this year? You have 3 areas that you are going to be graded in. 70% of your grade, so most of your grade, is going to come from projects that you're going to do for me. Our projects are going to be essays, a mock trial where we're going to put people on trial, characters from a book. You're also going to have some stories that you're going to tell me. You are going to make a journal full of poems about yourself. So we've got different types of projects. Also, your bell work will count as a project for me. And your challenge focus areas will count as a project for me. And I'll show you that in just a minute. Power focus areas. Now, focus areas are like, they are 10-question tests that you will take. This is stuff that you are typically going to try to do on your own, okay? So I'm not going to do a whole lot of lessons over the focus areas. These are things that you should know. It's things that are helping with that foundation that you have so that we can work in class and build on it. Now, if I find that you're struggling with these focus areas, you're not really able to pass them, or you can't figure out why you're passing them, then I'll step in. I'm not just going to say, okay, just take it and take it and take it. Hopefully one day you'll pass it. I'm not just going to let you struggle like that, okay? The focus areas are divided up. You have power focus areas, which are 21% of your grade, and you have additional focus areas that are 9% of your grade. Additional focus areas are not optional, but they're not a huge part of your grade. So if you're not doing well in English, I'm going to start with saying, you know what, you need to go, let's go back and look at your projects. What cognitive skill, remember that communicating accurately and precisely that we're doing today, Which one of those cognitive skills did you struggle with? Do we need to work on improving one of those? And then we'll go to the power focus areas. Are you behind on some power focus areas? Did you not take your tests in time? Did you not pass them on time? Let's work on those. So we'll focus on those big things before we look at the little things. Okay? Now, down here, your grade is cumulative. That means you don't start over every 9 weeks. If you end first 9 weeks with a 73, you're going to start second 9 weeks with the 73. There are only 2 grades that matter the most. The 2 grades that matter mostly are the grade that you get at Christmas, your first semester grade, and the grade you get in May, or this year it'll be June, your second semester grade, okay? Think of progress reports and 9 weeks grades as progress grades. It's like a, hey, you need to pay attention. You're not doing so well. You've got until December to get your grade up, because it's going to be set in stone in December and in June. Okay. So that's a big deal. You can go back and redo anything just about that for English. Remember, this is just for English. So if you didn't do well on the first essay that you had, and it's April, and this was an essay that was due in September, guess what? You can go back and redo it. It's okay. Now, you're not going to have class time to redo it, but you can go back and redo it. You will not get extra credit assignments, because I want you to master those cognitive skills. Those are what I'm trying to teach you. So if you're unhappy with your grade, you got to go back and work on those cognitive skills, those previous assignments, okay? Focus areas, and I talked about this already a little bit. They are to be worked on independently. So that means you are going to look at the objectives. You are going to take notes. You're going to study notes. You're going to take a little diagnostic, which is like a little pretest. And then if you do well on all of that, if you do well in your diagnostic and you've got your notes taken, then you can take the content assessment. 10 questions, most of them for English are multiple choice. They're not for every class, though. If you are going to pass it, you have to get at least 8 of the questions correct. An 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, or a 10 out of 10 are passing scores. Anything less than that, and then we need to go back and redo some things. You didn't pass. Okay? So the cool thing about Summit is that it will tell you, it'll have red or yellow or green, because we know that red is stop. Red's not always great. So yellow is like, slow down, hold on just a second. And green is good, you're good to go. So if you get a red or a yellow on an objective, that's the one you need to focus on. You don't have to study all of your notes over again. You don't have to take pages and pages of notes all over this one resource again. You're just going to look at another resource. It could be a video. It could be a slideshow. It could be a worksheet. You're going to do that activity, study those notes, and then you're going to retake it. Then if you don't pass, then I'm going to step in. I'm going to say, hey, you're not doing so well. We need to set up a time when we have a workshop. So I can say, you know what? I'm seeing that you're struggling with this objective. Let me help you. Let's figure out where the issue is. Challenge focus areas, and that's additional and power focus areas, this one is, okay? Challenge focus areas you will typically only have in English. Now, they're different than the others because it's just a quiz over what we're reading. And it's usually divided up. You have it in different parts. So I'll say, okay, we finished chapter 8 today, and you need to go take your first challenge focus area. You still have to make an 8, a 9, or a 10 out of 10 to pass that. This will be a project grade, which means it will count for 70% of your grade. But you don't have to take notes. That's great. You have your book. You can use your book. You'll have comprehension questions that you'll complete while we're reading things, and you are welcome to use those as well. You will not be able to pass unless you pay attention to what we're reading, okay? I've had some kids who they didn't come to school, so they weren't able to be present for the reading. I've had kids who just didn't want to read, didn't want to pay attention, didn't want to do it. And it took them, I'd say over 10, I know I had several kids who it took over 10 times to pass. I can't tutor you on this, okay? This is something that you've got, if you will just stop and do the work, because we're going to do the reading in class. I'm going to either read it to you or I'm going to play the audiobook for you. We're going to talk about the reading comprehension questions. This should be the easiest part, okay? I'm not just going to say, read it, have fun, good luck. If you are here with me, on the video, if you're paying attention and you're doing your work, putting your best effort in, you'll be fine. Okay? SDL is student directed learning time. We will have SDL every Wednesday at school, which means on Wednesdays, if you have me, you will have SDL time. That ultimately means you get to choose what you work on. Now, it's not just free time. That's a big misconception. This is time for you to work on the focus areas. This is when you need to be taking notes and studying notes. This is when you need to check and see if you're behind on anything. You need to try to get caught up. Maybe you were caught up on everything. This would be an opportunity for you to get ahead. If you're struggling with something, you can schedule a workshop. It could be over email, it could be over video, however. But this is a very important time because you have quite a lot of focus areas, power, additional, and challenge focus areas to complete throughout the year. And if you don't complete these, you will have to go to summer school. So SDL time is so important. It's not just a lazy day, okay? And I kind of talked about this in the introduction video, but these are the books that we're going to be reading. We are going to start with the crossover, which has to do with poetry, and I'm so excited for you guys to do this book. I want to talk a little bit about the difference between, you're going to hear projects and checkpoints. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause for just a minute, and I am going to I want to show you the Summit website so I can show you a little bit about what I have been talking about. This is a demo website, so it's just for demonstration purposes. This is not the real Summit website. Okay, so going back to our document, I talked about focus areas. So let's look at that first. Now, from your Summit website, when you log in, you'll go over here to the side and you see how that popped out. You'll click on year. And I'll tell you this. Hey, go click on year, and then you need to go down to English. So here's English. This is somebody who has done some of their English work, okay? See how you have focus area, focus area, focus area, and you have projects. Projects are going to be our big units. You won't have all of these projects. This one right here you're not going to have, but you will have 4 projects. You have your power focus areas. So those are all the ones you have for the year. The cool thing is that you can work on those as you want to, if you want to get ahead. However, those are the things that you are welcome to work ahead on. Additional focus areas are right here. You only have 4 of those for English. And you have your challenge focus areas, which I'll mix those up a little bit and move them around because of the books that we're reading. So this is where you find your focus areas. Let's click on the focus areas and see what they look like. So this is the first additional focus area. This is for Mechanics 7. Sorry, guys, I keep having to move my picture around. You have your diagnostics. So remember, I told you that's just a little pre-test that you're going to take. And here you have your objectives. Now, remember I said you have got to take notes on your objectives. Review the objectives, take notes over a resource from every objective. Okay, so let's look at that. Sorry. Here's your objective. Identify homonyms. Here are your resources. You have some worksheets, you have some online activities, you have a Quizlet. However you want to do that is fine with me. So you need to do one activity from here. Scroll down. Here's my second objective, correct homonym mistakes. And you would pick a resource from there. And I'll show you guys on Wednesday and Thursday of this week how to take notes on that. So don't worry about that right now. I just want you to see you've got your objective, you've got your resources, you have to have one from every one of those. You finish all that, and then you let me know when you're ready to take your test. You email me, and it'll be on Tuesday or Thursday. And then when I'm on the video with you and you're ready to take your test, only then will you click request. Okay, so you don't click request unless you are about to take your test right then. Let's look at someone who took a test and did not pass. Let's see if I can switch. Yeah, there we go. So again, I'm going over to the side. I'm going to click on year. All right, I see, and this is cool because you can hover over it and you can see this test was due on September the 2nd, and this person has not even attempted to take it. Okay, so but they've attempted to take word meanings and nuances. I won't let you move on to the second one until you pass the first one. So I told you red, yellow, green is your identifier. And we can look through here and you can see they got yellow on some of these objectives. It'd be a good idea to go back and look at those. But they got red on objective 4, so that's the one I really want them to look at and focus on before they can take it again. So I hope that helps give you a little bit of a better idea of what the focus areas are. Now, we're going to look at projects and checkpoints. So, your first project is going to be rhythm and flow. This one has just assigned cultural narratives on here. So we're going to look at this one. This is one you will do 4th 9 weeks. You won't do it with Flying Lessons. You'll do it with another book called House on Mango Street. And you see these numbers over here on the side? If it has a number, that's a checkpoint. I want you to think of checkpoints as your activities that help you become successful on the final test, the final project, whatever you're used to doing in the past. Anything with a number is a checkpoint. Now, it tells you here that checkpoints help you gain knowledge about cognitive skills. So remember, we're going to be working on communicating accurately and precisely. So I'm going to have activities for you to become better and better at communicating accurately and precisely so that on your final project, you will pass that with flying colors. Checkpoints are where I'm going to give you feedback. I'm going to help you. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to show you how to do things. I'm going to tell you how you did really well on that, or you need to go back and work on that. That's what these colors are. Red means, they didn't do really well on it. They need to go back and redo that. This one is green. They're good to go on that. No more feedback needed. Yellow, this is on their essay outline. There's a few things that they need to change, but they're on the right track. And so you can see that the different colors are there. Now, it's so important for you to do the checkpoint, guys, because I can't teach you how to do something in one day. And if you wait and you don't do any of your checkpoints and you just turn in your paper, and you've never done an outline for me, you've never done a draft for me, I haven't been able to give you any feedback, you're going to turn in a paper that's probably not going to be so great. And I'm going to have you stop and go back and do the checkpoints. You will be graded with red, yellow, or green. Now, anything with a star by it is a project. And that's where you get 70% of your grade. So with your project, you are demonstrating that you've got this cognitive skill. I'm not going to give you major help here because this is where you're supposed to show me what you're doing. I should have already provided you with that help. And you're not just going to get an A, B, C, D. That's not how we grade. We will grade on a rubric. And a passing score for 7th grade is a 2.5 to a 4.5. And I'll show you later where the rubrics are going to be and how to read that, okay? All right, so let's go over here to our Summit 101 document. You will be graded, number 1, on 3 major areas. What makes up 70% of your grade? That's going to be your projects. If I go too fast, pause the video, okay? Number 2, what makes up 21% of your grade? That is your power focus areas. And C, which area makes up 9% of your grade? That is your additional focus areas. Number 2, are additional focus areas required? Yes. If you made 100% on everything else and you didn't do your additional focus areas, the highest grade you could get is a 91. And it's very rare that we have somebody do perfect on everything, okay? Number 3, what is a focus area test called? They are called content assessments. Number 4, what 3 things must you do before taking a focus area test for the first time? You must take notes, study the notes, take the diagnostic. Number 5, what type of notes must you take? You must take Cornell notes, and I'll teach you how to do that next time. Number 6, where do you need to take notes? You need to take notes in your notebook for English class. If you have a notebook, that has been divided into 5 subjects, one of those subject areas needs to be for English only. You need to keep up with them because you're going to be able, if you don't pass your test, I'm going to say, hey, send me a picture of your notes. Let me look at them. Let me see if you're struggling with anything. So that I can see maybe you're taking too many notes. Maybe your notes are not focusing on the objective. There's all kinds of ways that I can help you, okay? What happens if you fail a content assessment? If you fail a content assessment, you need to take notes and study notes. Take more notes, study the notes. What is SDL time? Time for you to work on focus areas and time that you can get caught up on projects and checkpoints. When do you have SDL for English? On Wednesdays. Number 10, when should you seek help from Ms. Hale? On Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be the best times. So Tuesday, Thursday. 11, how many units will we complete in English this year? We will complete a total of 4 units. And I don't have a picture over here because I'm trying to see if we can get a different book. But I'll let you guys know about that later. That'll be 4th 9 weeks. 4 units. What is the first unit called? It is called Rhythm and Flow. I'm going to go back and show you this so that you can spell it correctly. Rhythm and Flow. You don't have to type resilience. That one won't be on you guys, but Rhythm and Flow. Again, if I'm going too fast, you need to type, pause the video. Checkpoints. What are the checkpoints? They are, and this is over here, checkpoints are activities to gain knowledge, or you can just put where I gain knowledge. How are the checkpoints graded? red, yellow, or green, and with the rubric. What are projects? It's where you demonstrate mastery of cognitive skills. How are projects graded? They're graded on a rubric 2.5, it will be graded from a 0 up to a 4.5. A passing score is going to be a 2.5 to a 4.5, but all you need to put there is from the rubric 0 to 4.5. What are cognitive skills? Those are the reason we are doing the lessons. It's what I want you to learn. 18, what is the passing range on the rubric for a 7th grader? Told you guys that right here, 2.5 to 4.5. That's a 75 to 100, okay? What happens if you don't score a passing grade? You can go back and you can go back and redo a previous assignment. I was trying to find the wording. Redo a previous assignment. You can. Number 20, do grades start over every 9 weeks? No, your grade will not start over every 9 weeks. So once you finish that, make sure that you close it out. You're going to go back over to the Google Classroom, and it'll have an option here on the side again for you to add your assignment and submit that. All right, the last thing that we are going to do, and if you're not done with that, just pause this video and finish that up, and then you can come back and push play, and I'm going to move on. So the last activity is the email etiquette or email 101 assignment, and we've got 2 activities, and we've got a slideshow to look through. So I'm going to go through the slideshow, and then I'm going to go over and show you how to do the task cards. Email is going to be our primary way of communicating, and so I want to make sure that you are able to successfully and efficiently email your teachers. Unfortunately, we get a lot of crazy emails from our students, and it gets in the way of us being able to communicate with them well. So I also want you to be able to communicate with your bosses in the future, or maybe a college professor. So let's talk about email etiquette. It is basically what I expect you to do, how I expect you to email me. You can think of PERK. Is it appropriate? Is it professional? Is it efficient? Meaning, does it make sense? Is it clear? Do I understand you? Does it show respect? It does not matter, guys, if someone is disrespectful to you. I mean, it matters, but because someone is disrespectful to you does not mean you should be disrespectful to them, okay? Always be the better person. So respect in emails. And then show common sense. Don't scream and yell, all caps, exclamation points. Make sure that you use common sense. You do need to understand that the way that you talk to your friends should be very different than how you would talk to a boss, or it should be different than how you talk to your parents, or even a pastor, somebody who is supposed to be a person you respect. So make sure that you understand that when you email your teachers, we're not your friends that you're emailing. Again, let's make sure that these are steps that you take, make them a priority. So you've already got a professional email address. Try not to email me from maybe a personal email address like myfeetstink@gmail.com or, something silly. Email me from your school email address. Try not to do things in a cursive, crazy font with bright colors and highlighting. I don't necessarily care if you do that in like the worksheet that we just had, but I really would prefer you not do that in your email because it makes it hard to read it. Make sure that you Put a subject, guys. I cannot tell you how much I get emails that do not have a subject. And it's so frustrating because I don't even know what that email's about. So you can, a suggestion is that you maybe you can include your name and your class period, but definitely include the topic. Is this about a focus area? So type focus area. If it's about work for Wednesday, type in assignments for Wednesday, August 26th. Let me know what you're wanting to communicate about. Something short and sweet. You should always have a salutation. Miss Hale, comma. Dear Miss Cruz, good morning, Dr. Eplin. So just something to kind of say, hey. Don't say, hey, what's up, Miss Hale? We're not friends. So let's keep that communication professional. My name's right there in the email, so please spell it correctly as with your other teachers, okay? Avoid exclamation points, so don't just put them all over the place like, hey, girl, 50 exclamation points, what you doing? Remember, we're not friends. Let's be appropriate. Don't put things in all caps because I'm going to take that like you're shouting at me. Don't put emojis or winky faces or different things like that. And try to avoid sarcasm. And that's difficult for some people because it's like you're playing, but you're kind of picking on as well. So let's just get rid of the sarcasm. Let's make it very clear, our emails, okay? Don't email when you're angry. Maybe you got a really bad grade and you're not happy with it and you are just furious. Take a deep breath, take a break for just a few minutes, and think about what are the facts and just email the facts. Don't blame or make excuses. Okay, you didn't get your paper turned in yesterday. Don't say, well, I didn't get my paper turned in because my mom wouldn't take me where there was internet, or Miss Burnett or Miss McFarland or Coach Kennedy or Miss White or Miss Hogue wouldn't give me SDL time or whatever. Don't make excuses. Just say, I didn't get my paper turned in yesterday. Is it okay if I turn it in tomorrow? Be very clear. So, what specifically are you struggling with? Don't just tell me I can't pass my focus area. What focus area? Is it for my class? Have you passed the one before it? Have you taken notes? I don't know what you're talking about. Be as specific as you possibly can. And try not to ramble. Be short and sweet. This one is a little difficult, but you can use you, but try not to be like, well, Miss Hale, I didn't get my paper turned in because you didn't have the assignment uploaded 5 days before, and that's when I did it, so it's your fault. So try not to blame. Don't email me asking for extra credit because you're not going to get it. Go back and work on the work that was assigned to you. And then you can include some kind of signature. So thanks, comma, Susie Seashell, or have a good day, or, something like that. But include your name at the bottom. Proofread. I know you guys don't like to do this because you don't do it with your papers a lot of times, but you need to go back and make sure that you typed things correctly. Did you have sentences? Did you capitalize things appropriately? You do not want to look unintelligent. And you don't have to include a compliment or a note of thankfulness, but if you feel led to, you're more than welcome to. There's an old saying that you can draw flies with honey. So the sweeter you are, the more likely you are to get what you're wanting. It's just a fun fact for life, I guess. Allow for response time. Do not email me 5 times in one day. Okay? And it's just kind of rude. So just try to give us at least 24 hours to respond to your email. And then high register and low register, that is just the difference in how you speak to people. High register is like your academic tone. That's how you should write papers. That's how you should speak to people you respect. Low register is how you talk to your friends. It's using slang. It's using emojis when you text. So there is a difference here. Thank you so much for helping me study for the upcoming novel test. Or, it was awesome hanging with you today to study for that test. You can see a little bit of a difference there. If you have to write a really long email, try to divide it up, make multiple paragraphs, put bullets, number things. I'll do that with you guys a lot of times. And just fun facts for life. If you're going to say something bad, try to do something positive, something bad, and then go back to something positive. Ultimately, the way you email someone reflects on who you are as a person, and especially you guys who are virtual, this is going to be the primary way we are in contact with you. So make sure that you make a good impression. All right, so we're going to go over to our last couple of activities. We've got about 30 minutes left for English class. We've been in here for about an hour. And let's look at the task cards. So with this, you are also going to go up to the top and click File and make a copy. You can type your name in the subject line as well. I'm going to give mine just a second to upload, and then I'll show you again how to do that. And I'll show you how to zoom in on this too. So you're going to click File, and then you're going to, then you're going to go down and click Make a Copy and tie your presentation. And then you can close out of mine. All right, if you can't see this, there are some options. You click on View, scroll down to Zoom, and I usually try to make mine 100%. You can do that however you want to do it. So we're going to look at 3 different pages. Each has 4, and we're going to go through these. Now, I would like to do the first page with you. And then I would like for you to pause the video and try to do the second page and the third page by yourself. Remember, have high expectations of yourself, so you really should pause, okay? So, first page, and we're going to highlight to do the answers. All right, let me zoom out just a little bit. The first one, sorry guys. Okay, first one, what is wrong with this email excerpt? I'm going to try to make a copy real quick to see if that will. I'm going to put my name so that you guys can see how to do that. It's not letting me type on mine, so I'm hoping it'll let me do it on the other document. And I think that's just because I made it a view-only activity. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. It's a lot of information for your first class. Okay. And then I'm going to zoom into 100%. Okay. All right, what is wrong with this email excerpt? It says, Dear Mr. Smith, what is the homework assignment? Thanks, Jimmy McPhee. Okay, is it informal? It's not informal because he capitalizes. He calls him Mr. Smith. Not specific. Well, does it provide me a specific day's homework assignment? Is he asking about a specific day, a specific class period? It doesn't. It's written in high register because it's professional, it's appropriate. And it says it's not concise. Well, it's short and sweet. So that tells me that it is pretty concise. Mine is not letting me type, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this so that you will be able to highlight. And I want to pull that up real quick so that you will see how to highlight if you don't know how to do that. So let me look for task cards. Just going to click right here. If we can't do that, then I'll have you make your own Google document and type the answers on there, and then you'll be able to just upload it for me. And if you're having that issue, after I've already tried to fix this, I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Yeah, that's what it looks like we're going to have to happen. So let me show you how to do that. You are going to come back over here to your Google Drive. You can type drive.google.com, or you can click on the waffle button, and go down to Drive or Docs. And I'm going to click New, and I'm going to click Google Docs. It's all about troubleshooting, guys. Okay, so up here in Untitled Document, I need to know what activity we're doing. And I also want you to include your name. So once that gets uploaded, I'm going to type my first and last name. You type your first and last name, and this one is going to be called Task Cards. All right. Again, I don't care what font you use, what color you use, just make sure that I can see it. So back over here at our task card, we decided that number 1 was not specific. So I'm just going to put a 1 and a B. And it automatically does that for me. Number 2, what's wrong with this email excerpt? Dear Mrs. Lamb, why did you give me an F on my test? Sincerely, Lucas Tinsdale. It's full of blame and lacks ownership. Can you tell me why I didn't earn an F on my test? Absolutely. It has spelling errors. It looks pretty good to me. It doesn't allow for enough response time. Well, I don't know how much response that was. So I'm not sure when it was graded or if he sent a follow-up email. It needs bullet points. Well, there's not enough information. So number 2 is A. Scroll down to number 3. What's wrong with this one? Good evening, Mr. Briggs. When is our sentence types assignment due? The one from today's class period. Thank you in advance for your reply, Amy Klein. It's impolite. And she says, thank you for your reply. I think it's very polite. It needs to be more specific. Well, she doesn't just say, when is our assignment due from today? She says, the sentence types assignment. It sounds like it's written in an angry tone. I don't think she's angry. She's very polite. It needs to be more carefully proofread. Absolutely. We can see that evening, Mr. and Briggs needs to be capitalized. She doesn't have the beginning of her sentence capitalized. She needs a question mark, and then she needs her signature needs to be capitalized as well. So it is going to be D. So number 3 is D. Number 4, can we arrange a time to go over some questions I have about the upcoming writing assessment? I've been studying for a couple days, but still have some questions. I'm available Monday after school and Tuesday before school. Please let me know what works with your schedule. I would be grateful for your help. Best, Vanessa Frank. She's taking responsibility, so I don't think that's the answer. It needs to be more specific. I guess it could. It is the writing assessment. She doesn't just say the upcoming assessment. It's lacking a salutation. It definitely does not have a dear Miss So-and-so, hi, Mr. So-and-so. It's lacking a signature block. It does have that. So let's go with C. It's lacking a salutation. I would like for you to pause the video and work on numbers 5 through 8, and then you can come back and we will check those. All right, I am going to guess that you had high expectations of yourself and you took ownership of your learning by pausing the video and doing numbers 5 through 8. So let's go through and check those. I'm not going to type them. You need to make sure that you have them typed. Mrs. Honey, I forgot my username and password for Google Classroom account. Thanks, Lacey. It contains a signature block. It's proofread okay. It clearly states a request, or it includes the signature, the student's first and last name. Well, does it say request? It tells that she lost her classroom account information, but it doesn't say what she wants. It doesn't clearly say what she wants, and it doesn't have a first and last name. So you could put C and D on that one. If you put one of them, that's okay. Dear teacher, I need a copy of the study guide, last week's homework, your class syllabus, and the directions to sign up for homework reminders. Thanks for always being willing to help me, Bobette. Well, yeah, I guess it is including the applied signature block. Thanks for always being willing to help me. That's fine. It uses bullet points effectively. I am so sorry, guys. Let me back up. This is what is right about this email. Okay. let's look at that one more time. She doesn't have the signature block down here where it should be. She doesn't have any bullet points. It does include a compliment. It doesn't have the teacher's name, though. So let's go with C. Number 7. You've got an email address up there from Party All Night. It's got first and last name, specific question, and what hour, and then dear whomever, when is our test? Does the sender have a professional email address? No. The subject line is clear and specific. Yes, it absolutely is. The salutation is polite. I'm not going to be very happy with you if you email me and say, hey, Emily, because that's not appropriate. So no. And the content is specific. When is what test? Doesn't tell me. So we're going to go with B. And number 8, M Sweet, Jackie Robeson, homework. Dear Mr. Peabody, I was absent today. I looked online, but I don't see today's homework assignment. Can you please send me the details so that I can get caught up? I truly appreciate it. The sender has a professional email address? Yes. The subject line is clear and specific? No, it doesn't tell me what homework. It's proofread well? Absolutely not. And the punctuation is correct? So you're going to go with B. All right, if you feel like you're still struggling and you want some extra practice, you are welcome to work on numbers 9 through 12. If you would like if you'd like for me to go over that, just let me know and I will send you an email with some answers on that. All right. Now, we're going to look at email etiquette practice. And what you can do once you get numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8 done, you can come on down and then let's type task cards here. I appreciate you guys so much being willing to just kind of go with the flow over here with me, because it has been a learning experience doing this first lesson video. I hope that you'll be patient with me as I'm as we're all kind of learning how to navigate this, we're going to make mistakes, and it's important that we learn from our mistakes. All right, so I'm going to come down and I'm going to put email etiquette practice. And then I'm going to come down, and it's got 3 different emails on here. I'm having a hard time seeing that, so I'm going to go to View, Zoom, and 100%. It's got 3 different emails, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick one of these emails, and I want you to correct it. This says, read the emails below on your answer sheet, explain what the sender did improperly and or informally, then rewrite the email in a professional manner. Remember, these are emails from student to teacher, and therefore need to be written formally. Now, you don't have to tell me what the sender did improperly or informally. All I want you to do is rewrite the email correctly. I'm going to demonstrate with the first email. Then and you don't have to type this, I just want you to watch me do it. Then I want you to pick either email number 2 or email number 3, and I want you to type it correctly. So I'm going to start with the email. So it says TO, and I've got mkruse at ep309.org. The next is going to be from chasing ladies all the time at email.com. Well, that's definitely not appropriate. So we need to have that student log out of that email and go over to their Cross at Schools email. And so we're going to say that this is Chase Time at crossetschools.org. You can make up whatever you want. The subject, we need to have a subject. So I'm going to leave that there and I'm going to come back to it. And he says, yo, Melissa, I'm in your class and I need work. When is there going to be extra credit? I turned in a late assignment from last month in the late work basket today. Why haven't you entered it yet, Steve? Well, that's definitely not appropriate. Yo, Melissa's not appropriate. So I'm looking at MK Ruse. I'm assuming her last name is Ruse. So I'm going to say, Dear Mrs. Ruse, I'm in your class and I need work. So let's be specific on that. I am in your 1A class and I need the assignments for Monday, August 24th. Okay. When is there going to be extra credit? Well, remember I said don't email your teacher and ask that. I turned in a late assignment from last month in the late work basket today. Why haven't you entered it yet? Oh, you just turned it in today. Definitely not an appropriate 24 hours or more needed to grade. And it was late. So maybe we could just let the teacher know. I just wanted to inform you that I turned in a late assignment. So let's say I turned in the essay from last month. I just wanted to inform you that today I turned in the essay from last month. Please let me know when that's graded. Thanks, Steve. And the subject, we're definitely going to say August 24 work, late assignment. So, because I have 2 different things I want to talk to her about. All right, so I just typed that down there, and that's all I want you to do is pick number 2 or number 3. Type that in there. And just pause the video while you're doing that. When you are ready to resume, you can come back and push play. All right. I am going to guess you're done with your email if you're still listening to this video or if you've started it back. Don't forget to come click over on the side. Remember, you'll have a spot where you can upload your work and push submit. The last thing I want you to do is the exit ticket. And there are your instructions right there. You're going to go to your Google email, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So I just clicked on a new tab. This pops up, and I'm just going to click Gmail. And this is going to take you over to my email, which I'm and then it says using what you learned from the email etiquette activities, send me an email introducing yourself. Tell me what name you like to go by, how you felt about English class in the past, what your hobbies are, your favorite snacks, anything you want to tell me. Your subject line, and I'm gonna push compose over here on the left side. If it'll come up. And here's the email. So you're going to send it to me, and I have my email address right down here at the bottom for you, emily.hell@crossetschools.org. In the subject line, which is right here, you're going to type your first and last name, and then you're going to type your class period that you have me. And then you're going to come down here to the body, and you're going to type an email to me. Dear Miss Hale, or if you don't want to call me dear, you can say hi, Miss Hale. Or you can just do Miss Hale. Tell me about you, and then give me your signature block. You can see mine down here it has my name, it has my title, my school, and I even have a little Bitmoji down there. When you finish that, click send, and you guys will be done for the day. So I know that was a pretty heavy class, and I am so excited that school's getting started. I can't wait to get to know you. And if you have any questions, just shoot me an email, okay? I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Please make sure that you are kind to other people, and just make good choices, okay? I'm here if you need me, and I can't wait to get to know you, and I'm looking forward to Wednesday and Thursday. Have a wonderful day.